If you want to understand tarot easier, then learn the relationships between the major arcana and the minor arcana. And what you're going to do is grab all the major arcanas from 1 to 10 up here, and then all the minor arcanas from 1 to 10. Then you're going to sort them all out. So all of the ones, you're going to connect with the ones, all of the twos, you're going to put with the twos, etc., etc. And then you're going to study those together. Because what you might not know is that each number from 1 to 10, all of the major arcanas rule over their minor arcanas in each elemental energy. And you can actually see it just by studying each card. So for example, if you take the Magician, you can see on the table that all of the different aces are sitting right there. And because the Magician is a card of manifestation, it is the card of what you are willing. The aces are which element you are willing, which one you're using. You can see all of the elements sitting here. And when these come up in the reading, they're basically telling you as the Magician, which one you are working with. They're an extension of which element you're working with, what you're trying to work with, whether it's communication, whether it's emotions or love, whether it's within the physical realm, whether it's money, or whether it's with your journey. It depends based on the ace that you're using. But at the end of the day, they all relate back to this card. They're an expression of the Magician's energy. That goes for all of the major arcanas from 1 to 10 in tarot. And if you don't believe me, I'll give you another example. Take the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is a card of fixed energy, which is expressed up here by the 4 fixed signs astrologically, which we're not going to get into today because it's a lot to explain. Ultimately, the Wheel of Fortune is a card that expresses how the things that you have been fixated and invested in, how they're ultimately panning out in the long run, and how with the changes of time, with the changes of you, with the evolution as you are going with, as you are fixating on these things, how they're ultimately panning out within certain time frames. So you can see that with the way that they're expressed in their tarot, but also within the elements that they're ruling. When it comes to the Wheel of Fortune and the way that it can manifest, it's neither a good or bad card. It can manifest both positive and negatively, and you can see that in the cards that it rules. You have 2 of the worst cards in tarot, and you have 2 of the best cards in tarot ruled by the same energy, which is a Wheel of Fortune. The things that you're fixated in, the things that you're working on. It's either leading to this like physical like abundance energy, or this happily ever after emotional fulfillment energy, or it could be a struggle, or it could literally be like being mentally completely defeated. The energy of the Wheel of Fortune is different, and it's also connected to time because again, it has that fixed nature, the things that you're fixated in. So for example, the 10 of Pentacles, it can take anywhere from 5 to 10 years to manifest. The 10 of Cups can take anywhere from 3 to 5 years to fully manifest. And then these 2 are the fastest moving. So they tend to come up a lot faster. They're easier to navigate because the fire and the air element are the fastest moving elements. So they can easily, you can kind of see these popping off here and there depending on where your mental health is. And it can also depend on what you're working on, and if you are struggling with it, needing to go in a different direction. These 2 take a larger investment to kind of stick through and make them work as well. So when you see the Wheel of Fortune coming out in a reading, or when you see one of these come out in the reading, you know that it's an extension of the things that you are fixated on and how they are turning, and you can see whether they're turning for the good or whether you're like on course to see it through, to make it through the thing. This is one of the easiest ways that I recommend studying tarot when it comes to understanding the minor arcana to the major arcana, because a lot of people like to see them as kind of like separate things, but the reality is that this card rules all of these 2s, and they are an expression of the High Priestess energy in both good and bad ways. And so it's important for you to understand how these relate to each other so that you can understand the minor arcanas when it comes to looking at a reading. Anyway, I hope this helped, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments.